Let's go. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Said I'm coming for everything. You good, but to be great, you gotta have confidence. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The long falls, you know the pit of defeat's bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, this what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, when I push the rock off the court. I got champion genetics. Champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. I am the place. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Remember me. I am the place. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. I am the place. You seen the making.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. The ball on the tee, we're set for football, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. This defense for the Vikings, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
On 2nd and 7, Fields. He's got Mason complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Off play action, Fields. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Ready.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talked about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Now a loose football, the ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields is going to let this one go deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. So first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Setting up the screen for Cook. Dancing away at the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. The Vikings sit 9-4 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Cook again. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Out of his end zone comes Andy Isabella. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. There
There's Chris Olave. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They run the option here on 1st and 10. They'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move was there, but didn't buy him a whole lot. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. So on 4th down, here's the Australian native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It'll be a net of 39. 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
On 4th down, on is the punter, Colby Wadman. That's taken it around the 40. A 40-yard punt, giving 3 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 43-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Fields. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
3rd and long. It's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it up. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Isabella now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, yeah, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Fields. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Kendricks. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. John Ross, 63 yards. And the Vikings take a 3-touchdown lead. So 20-0 now pending the extra point, and this place is jumping.
Yeah, you can feel it, can't you? You can also see it. You're seeing people in the stands now, excited, happy, high-fiving each other, and expecting this score to continue to mount.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Isabella now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but but where this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll do the pick up at 16, but they'll remain short of the mark on its 4th down. Here's Mitch Wishnowski now on to punt. Fielded at about the 28. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there, because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They'll set up a throw. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. From the 30 on 2nd down, Fields. The pass caught by Olave. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints 1st down on the pickup of 13. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, You're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. Touchdown, New Orleans. Andy Isabella, 57 yards. And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Lutz good on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. Dances by him. And some room to run now. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Following a good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They're going to look to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. Touchdown! Justin Jefferson as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw is Fields. Flushed out right. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Cook up the gut. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4. And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I'm got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they
rush coming, and he's taken down. No stopping Peyton Turner on that sack. He would not be denied. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Eluding the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
As quarterbacks like to do, he pushed it downfield on that throw. But I think that since he was outside the pocket and there was open space, it would have been a good time for his first carry of the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. Back to throw here. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up fourth down. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of looking behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
He's going to air one out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
In a game that hasn't gone your way, you got to throw in the end zone at every opportunity and hopefully climb back in as much as possible. He put way too much on that throw, though, and that shot ends up with nothing.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Fields. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
I like the confidence of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Here we go on fourth down, Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
They start the drive with Cook. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. They've got his man complete. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. That one good for 37 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing a shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now a 2nd down and 6. On play action, they'll throw. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2nd and 1. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Laviska Shenault, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Isabella now from his end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Well, they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. And remember, the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. Out left to Dotson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now. And all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That's Olave bringing in another one. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. The tackle made by Nicholas Morrow.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Fields going to keep it running right. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Fields on 3rd down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jahan Dotson, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Lutz with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. At their own 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. That's now a second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and goal, Fields. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Here we go, back. Ready?
And they take a knee.
Set,
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. And they will take a knee here. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Fields. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed on the defense with that incompletion.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
I have no idea what the top speed is, those high-end sports cars, what's the top gear you can get into. This offense, they certainly were there in this one. Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Minnesota, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.
for me, who could be against me? I guess all of